preparing myself for some cultural awakenings.
Yes.
And I knew where to fight my battles and where not to fight my battles. I was very fortunate to have been raised by a police officer and a school teacher and two older brothers. And I knew how to handle a situation to de-escalate because I knew I was by myself. There wasn't going to be, the NAACP coming to my rescue if something went down.
After I left Mississippi in the 60s and went to New York, first of all, I was silly enough to believe that the whole world had changed because of those 2 years of the civil rights movement. I was, shall we say, naive. When I got the job, and I thought, I am going back to the place where I started. And I wasn't that happy about it because as enriching as my experience in the South had been, and it fed me in ways that nothing else had ever done, had ever fed me, I had no joy in my heart about going back into that place because I had, we had some pretty serious experiences there, but things had changed a little bit, though they did have a Klan meeting on the town square while we were in Georgia.
And I went.
And I did too.
Yeah, we went. And
we were all standing around in the bushes trying to hide.
Back then, it was illegal to wear your hood. So the rules were changing. So some of the participants at the Klan rally had to remove their hoods, and some of them were our crew.
Oh God, I didn't know that part.
One of them was a driver.
One of them was
a driver I had. We would be referred to, and excuse my language, we were the nigger show.
Yeah.
And people were very comfortable with it. And we had to warn our guest stars. I remember having a long conversation with Art Evans. Art Evans was going to guest star, and I had to sit him down. I said, Art, do not engage. Don't, don't get all up in your feelings because you have work to get done and we want you to survive. It was a little disconcerting. But we were a family.
Yeah.
Our set was a family.
It was.
It's interesting with the rape episode, Carroll did not want me to do it. That was a story. He did not want my character to be the victim. He thought that would really upset the audience. Althea was such a solid, dependable, moral of the story, ... type of character that to expose her to such a horrific crime would negatively impact her character. I argued and campaigned to do it because I thought that Althea represented all women. So that was a kind of a battle that he and I had. Mm-hmm. And ultimately I won the battle, and shooting the episodes were incredible. And then to have the storyline continue subliminally. Althea was never the same after those two episodes, nor should she have been.
Right.
No person is ever the same after sexual violence. And it would have been a cheap Hollywood story if all of a sudden Althea was back to herself, poof, everything is okay.
Yeah.
But Howard and I really became closer after that because that was really a challenge for us. And so I'm very proud of those episodes.
My sister was murdered in New York. So he gave that to my character. I talked to Carroll about it because he asked me if I would object to him framing the story that way. And I said, no. And it's something that happens so often in this country. There was no way I was going to say, you can't do it. And then a lot of people ask me about it as if there was some weirdness in it. I didn't find it weird at all. I was happy for the exposure of that kind of drama, that kind of pain in a family, because we certainly went through it and still do. And I said it was fine with me if he wanted to use that element in the character, Harriet's character, that her sister is killed. It wasn't easy, but yeah, we did it. I had gone into pitch meetings and tried to talk to producers about writing for years. Nothing. I went in to see Carroll, fuming about no black writers on staff or anywhere, as the same thing I did on Room 222 all those years before. And I said the same words. You have all these black actors and no black writers. Why? And he said, well, blah, blah, blah. He said, what are you, my Italian fish wife? I said, I just want to change this aspect of this industry if I can. He said, what you got? I said, I have a story about the first black woman who tried to register to vote in Sparta back in the day, which was completely right from my own experience in Mississippi and Louisiana. And he said on the spot, I'll buy it. Well, then I almost fainted because I wasn't expecting because I'd never gotten a positive answer about anything relative to writing in my career. And I was standing there kind of dumb. He said, I'll buy it. I said, huh? He said, I'll buy it. Yeah, right. Now I have to do it.
Now you got to write it.
You got to write it. And I said, okay. What do I do now? And so he said, I'll teach you. And he did. That's the first attempt at script writing, was Odessa, my very first. But how many producers have his kind of mindset?
Oh my God, Alan.
All I remember is that women were coming from
Oh my God,
miles around just to stand on the set and just look at him.
we had to protect him. Yeah,
Which
he
is
was a
why-
magnet.
Which is why I wrote the script about the girl who gets in an accident and she attaches to him and won't let go. I said he could do that to a woman. That thing that happened to me happened during Route 222. It was a long time ago. And a nut got up in the apartment building that I was living in. It had a doorman, but he got by the doorman. He had a knife. He was outside my door. I could see him through the little peephole. And he was out there talking about, that I was destined to go to heaven soon. And I said, no, not as soon as you think. And so the police finally got there and took him away. But, people walk up to you when they see your face year after year after year on television, they think you belong to them, that they own you. They want to own you. They want to be a part of you. And it's scary.
Because, Alan, when we were working with him, so loving and so charming and so good looking.
That was the key.
He was chiseled. He was like a Rock Hudson type of, delicious. He was absolutely delicious.
Standing all along like a whole parade of women. They came from miles around for the opportunity to even get anywhere near him. It never stopped. As long as I was coming there, it never stopped. Every time.
Bubba was Althea's substitute birthing partner.
Right.
I was really nervous because I thought, are we going to be able to pull this off? Because there's a little tension between us, but it worked beautifully because there was a little tension between Althea and Bubba.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it worked beautifully, and he was just a joy. Just a joy.
I think everybody pretty much responded to him to say, all women, whatever ethnicity.
Even some men.
That's right. Well, I'll leave that part alone. But he certainly had no problem attracting.
Oh my God, he'd walk into the makeup trailer and
his jeans were always tight. And I was in wardrobe one time when he made sure that the wardrobe lady made sure his shirt sleeves were tight around here so you could see his muscles.
Yeah, they had to hit a particular
exactly in that little groove right there.
Yeah, and it worked.
He was.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I'll tell you who was disappointed. He wanted to do the series.
Oh wow.